The water was cold enough to steal her breath, but she welcomed it because it kept the memories quiet. She rose from the river slowly, pushing wet hair from her face, lungs burning, heart finally steady after the long swim. Morning mist clung to the banks like a secret, and for the first time in days she truly believed she was alone. No voices, no judgment, no fear, just the steady rush of water and the ache in her muscles reminding her she was still alive. Then she looked up. A man stood on the opposite bank. He wasn't close, he wasn't moving, but he was unmistakably there, tall, broad-shouldered, a cowboy hat shadowing his face. A horse grazing behind him like this was the most ordinary moment in the world. She froze. Every instinct screamed danger. Her pulse hammered so loud she was sure he could hear it across the river. She wrapped her arms around herself, breath caught somewhere between anger and terror, unsure whether to shout, run, or sink back beneath the water. The cowboy noticed her reaction immediately. His body stiffened. Then he did something she didn't expect. He turned his back. "I'm sorry," he said, voice low but clear, carrying easily over the water. "Didn't mean to scare you. I'll move on." He took 2 steps away, slow and deliberate, like he was handling something fragile. Not her body or her trust. She didn't answer. "Couldn't." "I'll wait till you're done," he added, "or I can leave. Whatever makes you feel safe." Safe. The word hit her harder than the cold ever had. She swallowed, nodded even though he couldn't see it, and finally managed, "Just a broken bar, just don't look." "I won't," he said, and meant it. Her name was Mara Collins, though she hadn't told anyone that in nearly 6 months. She dressed quickly behind a stand of cottonwoods, hands shaking as she pulled on dry clothes from her pack. When she stepped out, the cowboy was still facing the other direction, studying the horizon like he'd held answers. "You can turn around," she said. He did, tipping his hat slightly, eyes respectful, curious but careful. Up close, she guessed he was late 30s, early 40s. Weathered face, kind eyes. The kind of man who looked like the land had shaped him slowly, honestly. "I'm Luke," he said. "I run cattle up north. Didn't know anyone came this far downriver." "I didn't know anyone lived out here," she replied. He smiled faintly. "Most folks don't." They stood there awkwardly, the silence stretching and not uncomfortable, just unfamiliar. Mara felt exposed in a way that had nothing to do with the river. She was tired of running, tired of hiding, tired of flinching at every unexpected sound. Luke broke the silence. "You hungry?" She hesitated. "I've got coffee on the fire," he added, "and some biscuits. No strings attached." She studied him, searching for something wrong. A threat. A lie. All she saw was patience. "A broken bar, yeah," she said quietly. "I am." Luke's ranch wasn't fancy. A weathered house, a barn that leaned slightly to the east, fences mended more times than she could count. But there was warmth there, real warmth, the kind that came from effort and care, not money. He handed her a mug of coffee, black but strong, and she nearly cried at the first sip. "Take your time," he said when he noticed her shaking. "No rush." They ate in silence at first. Then, slowly, Mara found herself talking. Not about why she was there, not yet. Just small things. Where she'd grown up. How she liked the quiet. How water made her feel steady again. Luke listened like it mattered. When she finally stopped, he didn't push, didn't pry. Just nodded and said, "You can stay the night. Guest room's clean. Door locks from the inside." That did it. Tears slid down her face before she could stop them. Hot, embarrassing, unstoppable. Luke didn't move closer. Didn't touch her, just slid a folded cloth across the table. "Whatever you're running from," he said gently, "you don't have to outrun it today." Mara slept 12 hours straight. When she woke, sunlight spilled across the quilt, and for the first time in months, her chest didn't feel tight. Over the next few days, she helped where she could, washing dishes, mending fence wire, brushing Luke's old bay horse, Dusty. Luke never asked questions she wasn't ready to answer. He talked about his cattle, the weather, the way storms rolled in fast out here, about losing his wife years ago to illness and deciding to stay anyway, because the land still needed him. One evening, sitting on the porch as the sky turned purple, Mara finally spoke the truth. I left because I was scared, she said. Not of strangers, of someone who knew me too well. Luke didn't react, didn't interrupt. He controlled everything, she continued, voice shaking. My money, my friends, even the way I laughed. When I tried to leave, he said no one would believe me. She laughed bitterly. Turns out he was wrong. Luke stared out at the horizon. You're brave, he said simply. She shook her head. I was drowning. And you came up for air, he replied. That counts. The unexpected turn came 2 weeks later. A truck rolled up the dirt road, unfamiliar and unwelcome. Mara saw it first and felt the old fear claw back into her chest. Luke noticed immediately. Go inside, he said calmly. Lock the door. The man who stepped out of the truck was exactly who she feared. Polished boots, sharp smile, anger barely contained. I knew you'd hide somewhere like this, he sneered. Thought you could disappear? Luke stepped forward, solid as stone. You're trespassing. The man laughed. This doesn't concern you. Luke's voice never rose. It does now. What followed wasn't violence. It was something stronger. Luke had documented everything. Times, dates, Mara's arrival, her consent to stay. The nearest sheriff was already on his way. Someone Luke trusted. Someone who owed him more than one favor. When the sheriff arrived, the man's confidence crumbled. Lies fell apart under calm questions and steady facts. As the truck drove away in handcuffs, Mara collapsed onto the porch steps, sobbing. Luke sat beside her, close but not touching. It's over, he said. She believed him. Weeks turned into months. Mara didn't stay because she had nowhere else to go. She stayed because she chose to. She learned the rhythm of ranch life. The early mornings. The honest exhaustion. The quiet satisfaction of earned rest. She laughed more. Slept better. Found herself again in small, ordinary moments. One evening, standing by the Rivera, the same Rivera, she turned to Luke. I thought being seen was dangerous, she said. Turns out, being seen by the right person saved me. Luke smiled, eyes soft. You were never invisible, he said. You were just waiting to be met with kindness. She stepped closer, not rushing, not afraid. The water flowed on, steady and sure, carrying the past away while something new took root on its banks. A proof that humanity, at its best, shows up quietly, turns away when it should, and stays when it matters most.